Welcome to Jimmy James Garage. I got a cool little thing to show you. So my buddy that I've known since high school did a lot of bad things, I guess. No, not really. Just car stuff.
Yeah.
So Mike's with us. So we're gonna look at his car. What do you think? Want to look at your car?
Yeah, we can take a look at it.
All right, let's look at the car.
All right.
Enough of this gibbering. So 1968 Nova. So tell me about it. I want to hear about it.
Well, I bought this car probably 12 years ago, and I was really just looking for a project.
Yeah.
And it was a project. And it was just around the corner. They rolled it out, put a for sale sign on it, and I had a tow truck there within 30 minutes. And it's something that started off as kind of a budget. I was going to put a used motor in it and just get it running. And then it kind of morphed into more than that. But it's one of those projects that they say don't get them perfect, get them running.
That's true,
what I failed to do so far on this. So it is. It's almost there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Look at that bad boy. So a quick little backstory. Not only go to high school together, but your first Nova, I traded you for your truck.
That's right.
I was in college and I needed to get back to school and go to earn my degree. That I don't know what I'd do with that except hang that little plaque on the wall. But
yep, that's what happened.
Yep.
And so, I never actually got to drive that car. I actually traded it off or sold it.
Oh, you did pretty quick, huh?
Pretty quickly.
Old
yeah.
Bobby Middleton or whatever.
Bob Middleton bought it, yes.
Yeah.
And you know, at the
I missed
time
that car.
I was getting ready to move to. Actually, I think I did just move back from New Mexico at that point.
I think you did, yeah. Oh, so you got tubular suspension and all
Yeah.
the disc brakes. And did you put drop spindles on it or anything?
So no, it's got actually the stock height spindles now.
Okay.
But since I've done this, I've accumulated more parts. It's going to have QA1 coilovers on it, and
Okay.
that'll drop it down some, and Caltrac bars. But it's pretty close to being running. It needs a coil, a shifter, and some wiring.
So is this your only Nova besides the one that we had?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was a 71. What did you say, the 68, right?
This is a 68, yes.
And what's different about the 68s versus now like we were talking a little earlier, what's the differences?
Well, this was actually not, it was a Nova trim. It was actually called a Chevy 2.
Okay.
So that was the last year of the Chevy 2 name. And then in 69, they started going with things like locking steering columns. So they moved the key to the column. The heater controls are in a different location. And so there's not a lot of parts that interchange on them inside.
Really?
So, yeah, you'll see.
It is a little different. Oh, the steering, right? Or right there is the.
Yeah, the heater controls are on the left, like on a later model Camaro.
Oh yeah, and then all the other Novas are all down here. That's kind of a blank spot there. They put a vent for air conditioning and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So,
I guess I never really noticed it.
Well, lucky though, when I got the car, it came with a bunch of good parts, and it had just about everything I needed on it.
So Mike, what do you have for rear end?
So right now it's an 8.2 out of a 66 Nova, and the reason I did that because it's 2 inches narrower. I wanted to put a 275 on it.
Okay.
You know, it's probably the weak link but it's going to be a driver.
Okay.
It's not going to be a drag car or anything, so it'll survive.
And that's a 275 60 15 there?
That's correct.
And it fits in it fits good, huh?
It does, yeah.
Wow.
I did move the springs inboard.
Okay.
Used a different spring shock mount.
Okay.
Moved them inside, and once I get it running, I might tear it back down a little bit and do some of the upgrades that I got for it now.
Now, those just a rally wheel, you're going to put a disc cap on it? Or?
So those are just standard steel wheels. I have the little dog dish hubcaps for those.
Oh, that's cool.
So I kind of want it to look like a granny's car,
Yeah.
And I think it'll pull it off pretty good.
I think I like that look. That, that sleeper kind of, look to it with the, what do they call them, poverty caps or?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Freaking badass. What color is it?
Yeah, so the color isn't an original color. It's actually a Trailblazer color.
Really?
A friend of mine's got a body shop. We messed with it a little bit. We left one of the metallics out of it, and I think it came out pretty good.
That's
really pops in the sun. It gets a little dark at night, but I like it.
That's the color. I hope it comes across on the camera because it's freaking cool. It's really cool.
when I
So-
chose the glass for it, I also got the green tinted glass. I thought that kind of fit the car versus a smoked tint.
So a lot of our viewers, or a lot of guys that are following our channel, or if you're new to the channel or whatever, they're kind of like Mike and I. They're car guys in high school. You know, we filled the parking lot with these kind of cars, and ever since then we still do it. And I don't know if you noticed, but you know, Mike does it in his little garage, little shop, and he's a one-man band for the most part. We always have other people help us and maybe get paint jobs, things like that, some interior work, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we do it all ourselves, and that's kind of what I love showing on this thing. And that's why I asked you to show me this thing, because I mean, I know you sit over at Bob's house, you know, and
Yeah.
drink beer and sit on a cinder block.
Yeah, so this normally resides in my shop.
Yeah.
I'm working on another vehicle up there, but so I got to bring it up here, and that let me roll it out and get it washed and get it cleaned up, and it's really kind of reinvigorated me to get back on this. It's so close,
Right.
and it is a passion. It really is. And another connection, actually, Jim, is the same person that did the upholstery in your 55 did the upholstery in this car.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Old Greg Baston.
yeah.
I
Yep,
got to talk to Greg on that stuff. That reminds me. I should ask him to do, because I never saw him when they were done.
Yeah, so I took them up there to Janesville, and he took care of them for me.
Yep, I remember that.
And one thing I'd never done before, and I've never put a headliner in.
Okay.
And so my wife and I, one day, we decided we were going to tackle the headliner. And it came out all right. I got to steam it a little bit, get some of there's a couple of wrinkles, but, you know, it's one of those things you just do it. Just, you know, give it a shot.
Yep.
So I say that, yet here I am not driving it.
Well, at the same time, you know, I know you say get it running, get it, but you do great work. So I mean, it's a little bit, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's little things that you got to keep in mind when you tear something down too. Take pictures.
Oh,
You know,
that's a
there's
good idea.
you know, there's little items like clips that go behind to hold moldings on. Just the little things that you just start taking things apart,
Right.
and yeah, just take pictures.
I mean, I remember when I asked you, you're like, well, I don't know, my stuff's not, you know, perfect, and you know, okay, it's maybe not perfect, but you know, for a one-man band, it's as close as to perfect as you can get.
I really want to get an
it may not be
opportunity.
perfect, but it's really close.
Well, I want to get some dirt under the fender wells on it. Really, is what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, all the bolts just are perfect. The fenders all line up good. I mean, it's just over the top. It really is very nice. It's very well done. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
got-
think you're giving yourself enough credit, to be honest.
I got a little touch up to do, but you know, the fun things are a little fabrication. You know, making the brackets and
Right.
You know, I've always been a believer that, well, for myself, I'm more of a parts person than I am a car person, I think.
Okay.
I like to hold the really nice parts in my hand, and sometimes when you put all those parts into something, they kind of get lost. You know, you kind of lose that little detail. So I mean, you know, when you're struggling with something, you know, you buy some headers, and you know those don't work. You got to send them back, you know, and things like that. But when you finally get it right, and you know,
Yeah.
it feels pretty good.
No, I really like the valve covers. Looks good.
Thank
Very,
you.
very clean looking. All right. Well, we're going to end this portion of it, and then we're going to look see what else you got. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right. Stick with us. We got more to show. All right. We are back, and we kind of just walked through, you know, real quick. I don't want to show all this stuff, but we just walked through to the back of his shop here. You built this shop, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me about it. I want to hear about the whole thing.
Well, you want to talk about the shop, or you want to talk about the?
Let's do the shop and then move into the truck.
Okay. Well, you know, at one point, young kids at home, we wanted to get a little more property, you know, and
Yeah.
I wanted a place I could put a shop, and the market was just really bad, and so right where we're standing was a large swimming pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 19 by 39 and a big deck.
Wow.
And so.
Sorry, kids. The pool's got to go.
Sorry, the kids. The pool is going to go. No more hanging on my neck and getting drug around and
Yeah.
trying to drown me. So yeah, so I built a little shop. And this is going on. I think it's going on 20 years that I've had this shop.
Okay.
And it just gives me a place to kind of get away and, you know, tinker with my stuff.
Right. I love it. I love it. So tell me about your truck.
This is a 70 Chevy C-10 on airbags. I bought it paint complete that's about it. I did interior, wheels, tires, exhaust, did air conditioning, and just a lot of detail stuff. Well, I decided I wanted to swap a new Blueprint 383 in it, and I was just going to do a quick changeover. Well, as I started pulling things apart, I realized this is probably the last time I'm going to be under the hood of this, so I thought maybe I should just upgrade some stuff. So I've added the front runner kit, braided lines throughout, had to reconfigure the air conditioning hoses. And a really good resource for that is the youth. My son comes over, he's a fleet mechanic, and he's got all the tools to take care of AC lines and route everything. So it's coming together. I'm waiting on some more parts. It'll be fuel injected.
What kind of a fuel injection you put on there?
It'll be an Edelbrock Easy Street.
Okay.
So
and that just bolts to the manifold.
It bolts to the manifold there. And
like a carburetor.
Yes. So and it uses this fuel pump to actually fill a smaller fuel pump, high pressure, and that will feed the fuel injection.
And where are you going to put that? Is that tank going to be up here?
The tank is going to be behind the headlight here.
Okay.
I'm going to build a bracket, and that's also where the computer is going to go for it.
Got it. Now, I do have a question, not on the fuel injection part, but these braided lines you have for your battery cables on, where do you get that kind of stuff?
So this is actually a split loom, and you can get them at swap meets and stuff.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it actually you can actually put it over a wire that's already there.
Okay.
You don't have to run it up the end. But where I actually got this, and you'll probably be blown away. So this stuff sells in this size at a swap meet probably for $2 a foot.
Okay.
Pretty pricey.
Yeah.
I bought it at Harbor Freight. And what it is, they use it for taking wires, like say off your computer desk.
Yeah.
And you want to combine all the wires and make it clean. That's where I get this from.
Oh, that's awesome.
For $9. $9
Okay,
for
don't
25
tell that.
feet.
We're going to cut that out of the video, so if you've heard it before I cut it, then no.
Yeah.
That is freaking cool.
It's really nice stuff.
And I love the end on it you did and put the little tape on the end of it.
Yeah, that's a friction type tape.
So what I've noticed, and
for
like I said, I've known you forever. I've seen this truck a million times, so I don't want to act like it's a surprise to me that people are reviewing and stuff. But I've always noticed, and what you've done better than most people I know, is your attention to detail. And when you said it out there a minute ago, I'm a parts guy, it shows. Because some of this attention to detail is just, it's kind of what separates you, I think, from other people. Anybody can buy something and bolt it in, but you're just a little meticulous. And I don't know that it's like extremely difficult. It's just more difficult to have the patience to do it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do it twice.
Right.
You know, I want when I get it done, I want to be able to enjoy it and not wish I'd done something different.
Sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a friend of mine that he's built a beautiful truck, but it's never been sorted to where he can actually not sit on the side of the road.
I know which truck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely
It is
beautiful
a nice truck.
But and
I've
hopefully,
actually seen it on the side of the road.
yeah, I got a few pictures of it on a tow truck. Very good guy. Very good guy.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying, you know, get them on the road, get them running. But I notice when you do things, you do it correct. And that's a big plus. So
Well, I try, you know, like I said, when I do something, I don't want to do it again.
right.
I want to take and get it done, enjoy it.
Yeah,
So-
this is, you know, and this truck reminds me of you because you've always had like a white type truck with a black trim and all. It just seems like it is really you, especially with the houndstooth interior and stuff. I said, this truck is always, at all these shows, I've seen it 100 times. So, but yeah, it had a little pearl in it, right?
Yeah, it's got some pearl in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a wood bed in it also, and so it
yeah.
doesn't really sit outside too much.
No, it's done. And what year was this, Mike?
1970.
Oh, okay. And was that the motor that was in it?
That was the motor.
Why did it look so much cleaner when it was in it?
Well, that's
It's amazing
it's a filter, I think. You know, when you start covering it with all the bracketry and everything else, it just kind of disappears down there.
It is funny because I've looked at that truck 100 times. It's always clean under the hood. You look at it, oh, it's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just, I'm always shocked whenever I pull a motor out. I'm like, where'd that dirt come from?
Yeah.
Because they wipe them down and clean them, you know, like we all do. So.
Yeah, and this has probably been weeping for a while. You know, it doesn't leave anything on the floor, but it's an old small block, needs resealed, and
Yeah.
you know, it's still a good running motor.
How long did you have this thing on the road?
Oh, since 2013.
Oh, okay.
It's been on the road a long time.
Yeah, I know it has.
It's got some old school parts in it. It's got, like an Urson gear drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's got old Mallory Unilight. So that motor was put together probably back when Super Shops was still in business.
Right.
So, but it was just when I took it out, I got the old pulleys on it, the V-belts, and
Yeah.
nothing lined up perfectly, and just like, and I like to drive them. I'll take it to Reno.
Sure.
I'll take it to Hot August Nights over there. And I have taken it before and towed it. I usually towed it, but
Right.
but it's been to up and down I-5 to shows.
And it always looked good. Is a 400 in there? Is that a 400?
No, it was originally a 350 truck. Someone at some point along the lines put a 400 badge on it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. And this motor, was sold to me as a 383, but I'm kind of on the
Not
fence
sure
if
it
it
was.
is. It doesn't have it's internally balanced, so that kind of makes me go,
Yeah, you saw me looking.
yeah.
So I get, from what I understand, is on this crank here, you can actually look up and see if that crank is a 350 crank.
Yeah, I believe it is.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
It run good though, right?
Oh, it ran good.
Yeah.
It wasn't, super fast.
Right.
It was like a 1490 truck.
Oh, okay.
Very consistent.
Yeah.
And that's quicker than a lot of stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love all these guys. I got a 11-second car. I got a 10-second this. And I go out there and they run 1550s, So.
Yeah, I know my wife's Explorer couldn't keep up with it. My wife's Edge couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, no, it's.
So.
And again, inside, this thing is freaking sweet.
So I've added tilt wheel and a tack dash, and that's an original floor shift tilt wheel. So that's kind of a rare item.
Okay.
Most of these vehicles that were automatics, had more options than say a standard shift truck. So
Right.
to find an original standard shift tilt wheel.
So did you put a 4-link in this?
No, it's still running on the factory trailing arms.
Oh, it is? Okay, you got
Yeah.
those long trailer arms in there?
trailers, yeah.
Yeah, like they were on NASCAR type stuff?
Right.
And you just put bags in it?
Yeah, it's got airbags.
Okay.
It's got a ride tech controls.
Okay.
Single compressor, but I don't need it to go up and down fast.
So I did that on my wagon. I did a single compressor on it. I probably should have done a dual in a bigger tank, but it's fine. It works. I get it, I want to hide the tank, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
This has got 3 tanks in it, so it's got a lot of capacity, but it just takes a long time to fill.
Yeah, I think that's fine for what we're doing.
You're right.
We're not trying to jump them in the air and, make them go up and down super fast and all that stuff, so.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. So let me see the other stuff. I know you got another thing to show me.
Well, it's my instant gratification is what it is. It's my 67 El Camino.
All right.
And what I like about this is that it's everything the others aren't. You can lean on it, you can haul with it. I use it to take scrap to the recycler.
I love it.
It's got a low load height, so anything heavy, you don't have to lift it very high. So.
Can I open the door?
Oh, absolutely. I've had this car about a year. I got it from a friend of mine whose father passed away. And I'd been chasing it for about 3 years. And finally was able to get it out of the storage and do a little bit of stuff to it. It's a 350 motor with a 4-speed.
Oh, it's a 4-speed car?
Yeah, it's a 4-speed. It wasn't originally a 4-speed, but it is now.
Okay.
And it's fun.
That's a cool
It really is fun.
I love it. I think, me, I like the patinaed type, Oh, it is. Yep, it's a 3-pedal. There you go. How cool is that?
Yeah, I'm collecting some parts for this. I'm going to put the interior to black. I put some new seals in it, so it's a little
I
hard
won't
to
slam it. I'll let you do the honors on that.
It's just a 350 with a quadrijet.
Yeah.
So
And you just take it to the dump and
I take it to the dump. The dog
Parts
likes to go
store.
for a ride in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is, and that's what I get with these cars and even doing my channel. To me, anybody can do it. Anybody can go get something like this and go drive it around and enjoy it and have fun. And that's kind of part of the process, is the way it should be.
Yeah, what's really fun about it is, like when I got this, the grill was kind of mangled in it. And
Yeah.
I go to swap meets a lot, and I found a grill.
Yeah.
A little bit of paint on it, put it in there. It's straight enough.
Yeah.
Going to a swap meet this week, and I'm looking for bumpers.
Okay.
So
and it's a 67, you said, right?
It's a 67, yeah. So,
And for people that don't know out there, 67 has a little different front end than 66. And
the
is
tail
there
lights
anything
wrap
different on
around.
the El Camino in the back for 67 and 66?
Yeah, so the tail lights wrap around the corners on a 67.
Okay.
When they stand up upright inside next to the tailgate on a 66.
All right, very cool.
Yeah, my first car was a 66 Chevelle, so I've always had an affinity for these. I guess that's the word.
Yeah, so that shows the tail light there. That is cool.
It had a
I like the exhaust.
pretty rough quarter panel on it when I got it, and a friend of mine straightened it out. And yeah, I found some new. I've never bought a set of 2-inch exhaust tips in my life until I got this car.
That's
The other ones were drug off it, and so I'm like, yeah. So
That is so typical. When we were kids, though, you see those tips just like that.
Yeah.
You know? I just
Yep.
freaking cool. I don't know. It's just cool.
It starts and drives. I got a little wiper issue right now, so you just put some Rain-X on it and
Yeah.
just go for it.
Well, you know what? That's awesome, and I really appreciate you doing this for me and telling us all about your stuff.
Well, you know, and I enjoy watching your channel also, and it's the stuff I'm really into, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else you got coming up.
Hopefully, I got some stuff. So let me turn this around. So go ahead. Let me get the sun, so my people are like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, subscribe, do all that. We're going to bring you more content. I appreciate it. Again, thanks a lot to Mike for showing me his cool stuff. And man, what this is a. I hope this turns into a job. That's a pretty good job.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
You know, I enjoy. This is what I do. So if you like seeing what you see, just keep here on the channel, and we'll keep going with this and keep showing you more stuff. And if you have any questions, I actually know Mike, so I could probably get some answers for you if you got any questions about, you know, how he did this or how he did that, things like that, what years, you know, just different things. So, all right, thanks again, Mike.
My pleasure. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.